There are a lot of cool things coming to Genshin Impact in patch 1.2, but this is going to be one of the coolest things you guys can get your hands on when the patch does come out. This was talked about on the live stream, and this is going to be the Festering Desire. This is going to be a one-handed sword that you guys are definitely going to be using on somebody out there if you're using a one-handed sword character. This thing is packed to the brim with a amount of crazy stats in multiple different ways. So let's go over the Festering Desire. This is going to be a 4-star weapon. It has 42 base attacks, so it's going to have the second highest base attack among 4-star swords currently in Genshin Impact. It will max out once you take it all the way up to level 80, 90. At level 90, it's going to max out at 500, in 10 attack and 45.9% energy recharge. Energy recharge, that's not an offensive stat. Why do I want this sword? I already have a lot of swords that energy recharge. Why would I want to go and get the Festering Desire? What makes it so special, Hal?
If you're new to the channel, we provide high-quality, data-driven Genshin Impact character guides as well as content critique. If you want to see more stuff like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. If that's not enough for you guys, we've been dared that if we hit 100,000 subscribers, we'll pull for C6 Ganyu and Bite the Bullet as long as we hit that deadline before the banner comes out. That's right, you could not only get top tier content but also witness the C6 GOAT, actual GOAT. Anyways,
well, you can see the special ability here does two things for your elemental skill. It's going to increase the elemental skill damage that your character does, and it's going to increase your elemental skill critical hit rate. So this thing is giving you 3 different stats. This is an insane weapon that you guys can get your hands on, and then eventually when we're able to refine it, because this is coming to us with the new Chalked Prince storyline event they talked about on the live stream. Here's the special ability when we're able to refine. If you take this all the way up to level 5 refinement, it's going to give you 32 elemental skill damage, and in addition to that, 12% critical hit rate on your elemental skill. So this is going to give you critical hit rate, straight up damage bonus, and on top of that, energy recharge. This weapon is crazy because it's so stat efficient in a lot of different ways. Now, obviously, you want to be using this on characters who are using their elemental skill for damage, and if you are doing that and they have a utility elemental skill, this is going to be an insane weapon. It's going to be super strong for those characters because most other one-handed swords and other weapons in the game that give you energy recharge, you have those faster elemental bursts. They don't give you a lot of offensive capability here, especially the 4-star ones, right? You have the sacrificial weapons that allow you to maybe get an extra elemental skill in there, or the Favonius weapons that give you some particles when you do damage. This weapon's awesome. So let's see how it stacks up to the other weapons right now that we're looking at. So this is the Festering Desire, 510 attack, 45.9% energy recharge there. And then on top of that, remember, 32 elemental burst damage once you can refine it, and some critical hit rate on top of that. Another fantastic weapon here, the 4-star Black Sword here. This is a Battle Pass exclusive weapon. Same amount of base attack, 42 base attack, and then critical hit rate, 27.6% critical hit rate for all of your skills that you do on your character. This is one of the best battle pass weapons there is, and this thing on top of that also increases your normal and charge attack damage, especially once you start refining it. You get up to 40% increased normal and charge attack damage. So this is like the Black Sword in the Festering Desire. One of them is for normal and charge attack damage. They both give critical hit rate, and the other one is for the elemental skill damage that you're going to be doing with your characters. Even something like the Flute, which was a very highly regarded weapon and still is, has the same base attack as the Festering Desire. So all of these weapons, all of these strong weapons, they all have the same base attack. Very strong base attack here. Now, what about characters? What about characters? Who are we using these characters on? You saw Kay is pretty good. Kay is going to be pretty powerful. He could be in there. Any sort of character, guys, that you are looking to use their elemental burst as much as possible. You want them to be doing damage, and you want to buff up their elemental skill, damage, and critical hit rate, which is a double wombo combo of damage that you can do with the character, is going to be wanting this weapon. So if you're out there building Bennett as a damage dealer, you're using him to use his elemental skill, just tap the monster with the elemental skill, maybe have a Hydro debuff on the enemy or a Cryo debuff on the enemy, so you get to melt with Bennett. Bennett can do an insane amount of damage this way, and this sword is going to be amazing for him because almost all of the entirety of Bennett's damage is coming from his elemental skill. So you get straight up elemental burst or elemental skill damage from the sword. You get critical hit rate for his elemental skill from the sword, and then you get energy recharge on the sword as well. Which, even though you're building Bennett as a damage dealer, his burst, his elemental burst, is insanely strong. It's going to be a big attack buff for himself, for the rest of your party. It's going to make him very survivable on the battlefield as well. This sword is going to be an insane weapon, an insane weapon for a character like Bennett there. Any character that wants to use their elemental burst as much as possible, crit with their elemental skill, and do just damage in general with their elemental skill is fantastic. That 32%, once we were able to max refine that, right? That elemental skill damage, that's like the same amount of damage bonus that you guys are going to be gaining out there who are wearing Gladiator, right? For your normal attack bonus there, the 4-piece of Gladiator, it's the same amount of damage bonus that's built in on the weapon. We're getting this from the event. What other characters could you guys be using? If you think of a sword character, it's probably going to be good for him. So we mentioned Kea. Kea is going to be coming in, and if you guys are Kea fans out there, he's got that new set coming out for him. He's a cryo character, right? Put him in a freeze team. You could be using the black sword on him, but if you want energy recharge, so you get that ultimate out there, so you can keep gaining those extra cryo damages, so you can combine them with a character that does hydro damage constantly. This weapon's going to be great for him too. Energy recharge, critical hit on a skill, and then elemental skill damage on his elemental skill. If you're out there using Jean, you get elemental skill damage for her E, elemental crit hit rate for her E, and on top of that, energy recharge for that faster ultimate. There isn't really a whole bunch of terrible characters out there that you could use this weapon on. Even the Traveler, both the Geo Traveler, which is going to be pretty powerful, and the Animal Traveler have very powerful elemental skills, and they have very short cooldowns on their elemental skills. So this weapon is going to be fantastic for them as well. And both the Geo as well as the Animal Traveler have utility-esque type elemental bursts. This is going to allow you the energy recharge to use those bursts, bonus damage. It's very easy. It's very easy to see why this thing is just that good. It's a very strong weapon. It's an incredibly strong weapon. If you compare the amount of stats that this weapon gives you, right, as far as secondary stats, we have 45% right here in energy recharge, and then another 32% in elemental damage, and then 12% critical hit rate. That is a ton of stats for 3 different aspects of your character. This is just traditionally something you see like on the highest tier weapons in the game, 5-star weapons. And this weapon has that for you. Now, obviously, not every character in the game is going to be using it, but if there's a character that wants their elemental burst up, ASAP, get it on that cooldown, get it out there rolling for damage that way, and then you're using your elemental skill for damage, this is going to be a fantastic weapon for them. And another character that's going to be very, very good with this, obviously, Albedo is going to be very, very strong with this, because what we've learned, if you've been in the channel before, elemental skill damage things, we've tested this before with the likes of our lovely dovely character, Fischl, with the stringless. The stringless affects everything that Oz does for her elemental skill. It's not just the summon damage on stringless, it's also Oz attacking. So it should work that way. Albedo's not out yet though, but it should work the same way with his elemental skill, where you summon the little Geo flower, right? And then that field exists, and then when someone hits the enemy, every 2 seconds it can, when they take damage, pulse AoE Geo damage. The Festering Desire should also work for him there, and that'll be amazing because that's going to give you bonus crit hit rate, bonus straight up damage. That's fantastic. It's so good. So this is definitely a weapon for you guys to look forward to in the future for Genshin Impact. Let me know what character you think you might be using the Festering Desire on down below. Is it going to be Albedo? Is it going to be Kea? Who is it going to be? The Festering Desire, though, it looks really cool. And that's all I wanted to make the video, guys, about, because I wanted to get your attention out there that this weapon's coming out. It's looking to be pretty spicy. I'm going to get my hands on it. And it's coming from an event quest of all places. So it looks to be very powerful. This is going to be the Chalk Prince. I do believe they said that in a live stream reward. Look forward to the Festering Desire 1.2. Let me know how you're going to use it down below. Until then, guys, stay safe. If you want to see more stuff right here on the channel, you know what to do. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.